Goeiedag lesers en kykers, welkom by nog 'n week se bulletin van Rustenburg Herald met so 'n vinnige loertjie na al die hoogtepunte in hierdie week se koerant. En vandag is my kollega Maries Leroux, die Engelsman.
Good morning everyone, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time you are watching, and thanks for tuning in and sharing our community news with us this morning.
Okay, ons spring op ons voorblad weg met 3 susters. Ons wonder hoeveel mense het geweet dat vandag, hierdie Woensdag van die 10de April, is dit National Siblings Day in sekere gedeeltes van Suid-Afrika skynbaar en baie ander gedeeltes in die wêreld. Dis 'n dag, 'n inisiatief wat ons broers en ons susters, ons intieme familielede aanmoedig om bietjie na mekaar uit te reik. Die 3 susters op ons voorblad wat nie veel aanmoediging nodig het nie, is 'n bekende klompie in Rustenburg en ons skerp sommer so met die opskrif en sê hierdie 3 susters van ons is nie van 3 susters nie, maar is van die Platina stad. Baie van ons lesers sal hierdie 3 sissies baie goed ken. En dan spring ons sommer weg met die eerste storie hierdie week wat ons bietjie aangegryp het. Dit lyk tog vir ons of El Niño die weerverskynsel bietjie van besluit of van voorneme verander het omtrent ons droë patrone. Tot 'n week gelede of net meer as 'n week gelede dit gelyk of April van 2024 een van die droogste Aprilmaande in 'n baie lang tyd gaan wees weens El Niño. En skaars 'n week later is die prentjie heeltemal anders met April 2024 sommer al in die 7de plek oor die afgelope 21 jaar met goeie reënval van hier by die 90 mm. En soos ons sê, die maand is nou maar eers 10 dae oud, die nuwe maand. Nou ja, Maries het onverwagte kuiergaste gehad en sy gaan gou met julle hieroor praat.
Yes, some of the local schools in our district took advantage of the lovelier, cooler weather, and they were just in time to escape the thunderstorms that we had on Monday, and they visited our printing press and factory yesterday here at Northwest Papers Group. The young ones in grade 4 and 5 from the Tanya Learning Institute really stood starry-eyed looking at all the printing of the humongous rolls of paper and just the entire process of putting a newspaper together and getting it printed. So a huge learning experience for them, and other schools are also invited to come and make an appointment and just share some wisdom with your learners. It's always good to see something happening in action rather than just reading about it. Continuing on here from that story, Valdi.
Maries, ek gaan gou-gou 'n bietjie ietsie sê oor hierdie ding. Ons lesers en ons kykers kan verwag dat die verkiesingsveldtog in sy felheid gaan toeneem binne die volgende week of 2 of 3. Ons almal weet dis nasionale verkiesing op die 29ste Mei. Partye raak verneig en partyleiers raak verneig en almal veg vir stemme en setels in die parlement. In Rustenburg het ons weer eens die situasie rondom omstredenheid van die munisipale bestuurder wat onlangs aangestel het. In 'n verklaring deur die Vryheidsfront Plus het Adam Bossou, Vryheidsfront Plus raadslid van die Rustenburg munisipaliteit, in 'n verklaring uitgelaat oor die omstredenheid van die kwessie en in 'n skrywe aan die munisipaliteit gesê dat hulle distansieer van die aanstelling van meneer Kodoge, dis nou die nuwe munisipale bestuurder, en Adam beweer verder meer dat die munisipale bestuurder se aanstelling onreëlmatig en onregmatig was en nie aan die regulasies voldoen het nie. Daarom dan ook dat hulle distansieer van besluite en van implikasies rondom besluite wat uit hierdie aanstelling van meneer Kodoge mag voortspruit.
We encourage our learners to keep an eye out. We are going to start upping our coverage of the build-up to the elections that are taking place next month, so please stay informed by buying the Herald. A bit of good news, it doesn't directly affect our community unless we are traveling, but the end of the e-tolling system is in sight.
Finally.
Finally, yes. In fact, on the 12th of April, the e-toll system in the Gauteng province will no longer be in effect, and no invoices will be issued even if you do have a tag placed in your car. The system will automatically update. So there's no need for the public to act on anything. The whole system is automated, and any further developments in terms of past fines, unfortunately, I'm sure there are a few of you with those in your cupboards, and any outstanding fees will be communicated to all the relevant members of public.
Okay, dit beteken as jy nou al lankal Johannesburg se kant toe wil wyk of Pretoria toe om by 'n paar plekke te gaan aandoen, te gaan uit te gaan ijskaats, mooi vertonings wil gaan sien, dan is hierdie naweek die beste naweek, want die afsnydatum is Vrydag. So jy kan hierdie naweek gaan baljaar in Pretoria en Johannesburg en sommer net 'n bietjie skuur op die N1 sonder om enige finansiële implikasies op die hals te haal. Maar is nog iets daar by jou?
Yeah, then still on the concept of traveling, there was an incident over the weekend where a few of our learners from the Northwest Province was involved in a bus accident. Fortunately, no one was injured seriously, and all the learners, including the driver on the bus, they were taken to the hospital in Kimberley just for follow-ups in terms of minor injuries, and also just to make sure that everyone was calm and collected and didn't experience it as too much of a traumatic event. They were attending a national gathering in school in track and field athletics in the Western Cape. So this was on their return back to the province. The good news though, as we said, no one was seriously injured.
Okay, op daai noot met sportnuus. Ek praat nie altyd vreeslik baie oor sport nie, of partykeer doen ek ja. Ons het net nou die dag bespiegel oor die rugby daar van ouds, dat klap rugby betref in Rustenburg. Ons gereelde en getroue lesers van 'n klompie jare gelede sal onthou dat ons hier in die vroeë 90er jare sommer 5 of 6 klubs gehad het wat geesdriftig aan klap rugby deelgeneem het. Dit het ongelukkig in die proses waar ons is aansienlik uitgedun, afgewater. Laaste 2, 3 jaar, 4 jaar en dit nie langer nie, was dit net Rustenburg Impala, soos hulle nou bekend staan as Casmar Rustenburg Impala, wat die toon op die rugbyveld aangegee het. Tot ons verbasing het ons nou kennis geneem dat die ou span van RPM, Rugby Club, dit is nou deesdae Sibanye Stillwater, is weer op die been en het trouwens 2023 begin met oefeninge en om spelers te organiseer. Baie goeie nuus vir Sibanye Stillwater is dat hulle die paasnaweek die eerste keer in die Neser A-liga in aksie was, en dit teen aardsvyande, as hulle my toelaat om het so te noem, Casmar Rustenburg Impala, en tot almal se verbasing slaag Sibanye Stillwater daarin om Rustenburg Impala, Casmar Rustenburg Impala, met 33-12 die loef af te steek. Dis werklik waar, groot verrassing. Ja. Ons weet dat die kompetisie tussen hierdie twee spanne was nog altyd baie gesond en vuurwerke kan verwag word in die klompie maande wat voorlê. Ons is bly dat rugby gedei in ons streek, want die bokke speel ongelukkig nie elke dag nie, en nie almal van ons is vreeslik noodwendig gaande oor super rugby of oor provinsiale rugby nie. Ons sê vanuit die bokke die wêreldbeker in 1995 gewen het die rugby toneel verander. Of jy is vir die bokke of jy steun hulle, wie ook al vir hulle speel. Maries?
Alright, then just a few snippets, a few ideas, a few announcements. If you are looking for something to do over the weekend, this is not necessarily related to fun, but just a few responsible things that you can do to contribute to your community and to your family. The first flu shots are now available in town at various pharmacies, so please make sure that you get yourself and your family protected. Remember, there are a few people who are more prone to becoming ill in the cooler months, people with chronic medical illnesses, our older generation, I won't mention names, and then people who already have pre-existing conditions such as cancer, females that are pregnant, and then obviously the younger ones, the little ones who touch and put things in their mouths and all kinds of things that we won't mention on camera. So please make sure that all of you get vaccinated as soon as possible. Then also our furry and feathered and in some cases even, I would suppose, what is it called, scaly friends, please, there's a need at the SPCA for the usual donations of food and any kind of thing that you can help with, cash donations, but at this stage, especially with blankets, because of the cooler weather that we are having, and also because of the rain that damaged some of the blankets at our local SPCA. There's also an organization called Tales of Tales that is visiting our region over the weekend. They offer services such as sterilization, vaccination against rabies, microchipping, deworming, etc., etc. So please have a look at the short snippet in the paper, or otherwise you can visit their Facebook page. And then also, just after the weekend, there's an event that will be hosted by BirdLife Club here in Rustenburg, and it's especially focused on raptors, birds of prey, and you cannot believe how long the list is. So if you want to know anything about eagles, hawks, buzzards, harriers, kites, falcons, vultures, or even the secretary bird, please attend the event. Members of the club can attend with no charge. Members from the public have to pay a fee of 30 Rand, which is really not much, to acquire some knowledge on the bird life in and around our area.
En dis nie vir die voëls nie.
Nee.
Maries, my laaste bydraatjie vir hierdie week. Mense, dis 'n moeilike tyd van die jaar, dis 'n moeilike tyd van die lewe. Soos Dawid Coetzee altyd gesê, tye is hard. Ons moet maar almal die handjie dieper in die sakke steek om by daai paar pennies by te kom, en ons kyk maar almal waar kan ons spaar. By Rustenburg Herald is daar 3 maniere om 'n ekstra geldjie te verdien, gelukkig vir ons lesers. Die weeklikse Sudoku kompetisie en die weeklikse blokkiesrakel kompetisie bied prysgeld van R250 elk aan. Dit sommer al klaar 'n stewige duitjie in jou kolekniersware drom skop. En as jy dan nou regtig waar 'n groot behoefte het en jy dalk bietjie kuns aanleg, is dit 'n baie goeie idee om in te skryf vir ons blanco spasie kunskompetisie, waar daar prysgeld van R1000 as ook algehele prys van 2 maal R10,000 koopbewyse by 'n prominente kolekniersware groep in ons dorp op die spel is. So moenie bang wees dat jy gaan droogloop nie, dat die beursie gaan dun word nie. Koop jou Rustenburg Herald waar hy ook al beskikbaar is elke week, skryf in, en wie weet, dalk is jy aan die wenkant hierdie week. En daarmee, terwyl ek nou aan die woord is, gaan ek sommer groet en afsluit. Ons praat weer met julle volgende week, dieselfde tyd, dieselfde plek. Bly veilig en geniet die naweek. En Marie het nog enkele wat sy met julle wil bespreek.
Lastly, we are going to talk about buns in the oven of the non-traditional kind. Our cooking page this week features a recipe for a lemon poppy bun. And it's got a bit of a sweet taste to it. It looks absolutely delicious. So those of us who want to take advantage once again of cooler weather and filling our tummies with scrumptious and warmer food, please have a look at the recipe. And I wasn't there to experience it myself, but according to Valdi,
quite similar to cinnamon
Yes.
buns, the popular cinnamon buns, very similar to cinnamon buns and wonderfully tasty.
So yes, so please enjoy that. And why not drop it by your samples at the Herald? We will appreciate to know. We want to see if you guys' cooking skills are up to scratch. So that's also all from my side for this week, and we look forward to chatting again next week around our next edition. Keep well.
Mooi bly tot dan.